In a world brimming with technological advancements, private jets have long symbolized the pinnacle of luxury and speed in air travel. Yet, a perplexing trend has emerged in recent years. Why are private jets, once the epitome of rapid travel, now getting slower? This question not only intrigues enthusiasts of aviation, but also raises concerns for an industry that operates at the intersection of luxury, performance, and economics. To understand this phenomenon, we must first look back at the golden age of aviation. In the years following World War II, flying transformed from a luxury reserved for the wealthy into a preferred mode of transportation for many. By the 1960s and 70s, jet travel had reached new heights, quite literally, with private jets offering unparalleled speed and convenience. At that time, flying from New York to Los Angeles in a private jet was comparable to a leisurely drive down a picturesque highway. Back in 1976, you could have breakfast in London and lunch in New York on the same morning, all made possible by the Concorde, a marvel of engineering and speed. It flew at Mach 2, twice the speed of sound, allowing passengers to cross the Atlantic before the credits of a movie like Titanic rolled. For those fortunate enough to experience its luxury, it was more than just air travel. It was an experience that epitomized excitement and glamour. However, consider this: that same journey on a private jet today takes nearly double the time. The question arises, why have we collectively chosen this route? To answer, we need to look closely at the remarkable technological capabilities available to us right now. Supersonic flight is no longer a distant dream. Advancements in material science and aerodynamics mean that modern aircraft can achieve speeds previously reserved for the likes of the Concorde. In fact, some companies are already striving to return to the era of faster-than-sound travel. This potential raises an unsettling question. If we can fly faster, why are we not doing so? The answer lies deeply embedded in the economics of the aviation industry. Manufacturers face mounting pressures to maintain profitability against a backdrop of rising operational costs and fluctuating consumer demands. Operating a fleet of high-speed jets necessitates much more than just advanced engineering. It requires extensive infrastructure, specialized training for pilots, and costly maintenance protocols. Indeed, maintaining high-speed jets like the Concorde is a financial conundrum. Supersonic jets require specialized facilities that can handle their unique needs, alongside a trained crew that has mastered the intricacies of supersonic flight. The expenses involved are not simply limited to the jets themselves. The entire operational framework is magnified in both cost and complexity. The cost-effectiveness of slower jets has thus become appealing. With rising fuel prices and maintenance costs presenting challenges for manufacturers, opting for slower jets can significantly reduce expenses. Not only does this allow operators to save on fuel costs, but it also lowers maintenance and operational costs. Manufacturers have inevitably responded to these economic pressures by producing jets designed for comfort and price rather than speed. What is often overlooked is the ongoing transformation in consumer preferences, particularly among those who use private jets. Today's travelers are not just CEOs on the go, they are families looking for shared experiences. They want to enjoy the luxury of flying, but are increasingly hesitant to pay a premium for speed that is often marginally different from conventional jets. Some travelers now value experiences that cater to their unique needs, luxurious cabins, catering options, and entertainment features over the sheer thrill of speed. This shift represents a daunting challenge for manufacturers, who now find themselves torn between the desire to innovate and the need to deliver economically viable products. This evolution can also be attributed to changing societal attitudes regarding sustainable traveling. As we become increasingly aware of the impact of our choices on the environment, the pressure to minimize carbon footprints takes center stage within the aviation industry. Manufacturers are now navigating a precarious balance where they must advocate for eco-friendly options while still delivering luxury air travel. Users are split. Some seek the thrill of speed while others prioritize eco-friendliness, pushing manufacturers to adapt their models accordingly. But the irony remains. To become more sustainable, some jets need to fly slower. Today, the landscape of private aviation is rapidly changing. The market for slower jets has exploded, reflecting a broader trend within the industry. New models emphasize comfort, luxury, and versatility, but all at the expense of speed. In fact, reports indicate that the demand for jet chartering is now more focused on experiences rather than speed. This is most evident in the market share captured by large cabin, ultra-long-range jets. As of 2025, large cabin business jets commanded an overwhelming 81.62% of the total business jet market share. Major manufacturers like Gulfstream and Bombardier are also reporting near-capacity delivery pipelines extending into 2027, driven almost entirely by demand for their largest, most voluminous models. All these points to travelers being delighted to spend extra hours in the air if it means saving on costs while enjoying luxurious amenities. Larger cabins, plush seating, and advanced technologies are the go-to anchors in a consumer's decision-making process. Meanwhile, the plane's operational speed becomes a mere afterthought. But let's take a moment to reflect. What does this mean for the industry and the flying experience we've come to treasure? Some passengers reminisce about the days when speed was synonymous with luxury, the thrill of racing through the clouds, exhilarating, and an integral part of the travel culture they have enjoyed. Today, air travel has now been reduced to practicality and efficiency. As private jets become a staple of mainstream aviation culture, the unique charm that once separated them from commercial flights has begun to fade. As we examine the intricacies of this trend, we must also reflect on the future of private jets. Will the gradual shift towards slower aircraft permanently redefine luxury air travel? Or will we one day see a return to the blazing speeds that once defined the industry? The answer is complex. Innovations are indeed underway. Companies like Supersonic are working on revolutionizing private travel by designing jets that aim to minimize the past's faults while reintroducing speed. These new models focus on sustainable fuels and advanced technologies that promise to address environmental concerns without sacrificing performance. Nevertheless, challenges remain daunting. Regulations blocking overland supersonic flight still impede the broader introduction of faster jets into mainstream air travel. And the general public's perception of sonic booms continues to resonate from years of complaints. Thus, the shadow of the future looms large over the aviation landscape. Can manufacturers solve the economic dilemmas that continue to restrict innovation? As they strive to build enough aircraft to make operational viability a reality, will they also reignite the ambitious pursuits that fueled earlier decades of aviation prowess? This contemplation leads us back to the heart of private aviation, the experience of travel itself. Within the ultimate luxury of private jets lies an opportunity for connection, whether through shared family adventures or seamless flights for business executives. But now, there is a heightened focus on balance between speed and convenience, luxury and cost, and ultimately, ambition and accessibility. In the end, when we examine the current trend of slower private jets, we are reminded not only of the tangible impact that economics and consumer preferences wield on an industry, but also of the deep emotional bonds we form with flight itself. Luxury travel may have evolved in its definition, but the core experiences associated with flying, of adventure, exploration, and connection, remain eternally cherished. So as we fly into the future, a question lingers in the air. Have we traded the thrill of speed for a more measured approach to luxury? Or can we, perhaps, find ways to incorporate both into the evolving narrative of aviation? The journey of private aviation is by no means over. As we navigate this transformative era, what awaits us is a convergence of technology and legacy, an exploration of how the lessons of the past can pave the way for an exciting future. Only time will tell if the industry can reconcile its rich history with the demands of economic viability and consumer expectations. We invite our viewers to stay tuned and explore the evolving world of air travel with us in the coming segments.